We're diving deep into the world of Gravity Falls and its brilliant yet troubled genius, Stanford Pines. This isn't your average guy gets into weird stuff story. It's packed with mystery, family drama, and some major what was he thinking moments. So, Ford was born in the 1950s, just 15 minutes before his twin brother Stan. Anyway, they grew up in a little beach town called Glass Shard Beach, and Ford's childhood was, well, not the easiest. He had this rare birth defect, extra fingers in both hands. Not exactly the thing that wins you friends when you're a kid. Along with that, he was super smart. We're talking high IQ level smart, which, let's be honest, doesn't make you any more popular when the local bullies are targeting you. Ford and Stan had a rough time with this group of kids, led by the absolute jerk, Cram Pelter. These bullies were all about picking on Ford's differences. But by the time he hit his teens, he was already creating crazy scientific stuff, like a perpetual motion machine. This eventually earned him a scholarship to a top university. Enter Stan, his brother, who's not exactly happy about Ford's success, so Stan sabotages Ford's machine, causing Ford to lose his scholarship. Dad? Not having it. He kicks Stan out and Ford goes off to a different university. Fast forward to Backup's Moore University, yep, that's the name, which is basically the opposite of prestigious. But Ford doesn't care, he dives into all the weird science stuff, gets national recognition, and even wins a big prize. But here's the thing, he gets obsessed with one question. Why is Gravity Falls so weird? So he starts investigating. Now, you'd think this would be a casual curiosity, but no. Ford gets full-on obsessed. He ends up building a lab in Gravity Falls and spends all his time chasing the town's supernatural oddities. And get this, he even makes a deal with Bill Cipher, the Demon Triangle. Yeah, that Bill. Ford thinks he's getting answers, but it's really more like opening a Pandora's box of chaos. Ford's house starts looking like a shrine to Bill with triangular stuff everywhere. It's getting wild. But wait, it gets worse. Ford teams up with Fiddleford McGucket to build an interdimensional gateway. But Fiddleford starts getting worried about his friend. Ford's acting strange, not telling him about Bill, and things are about to go south. On January 18, 1982, they tested the machine. Of course, things don't go as planned. A test dummy gets sucked in, and then Fiddleford? He gets sucked in. Panic mode activated. Ford realizes that maybe this thing is dangerous and way more than he bargained for. So he tries to block out Bill, installs a metal plate in his head, and encrypts his thoughts. But his mind? It's spiraling. He starts writing everything in invisible ink and locks himself in, but Ford knows one thing. He needs to hide his research and his journals so no one, especially Bill, can reopen the portal and cause total chaos. Then, Ford sends an SOS postcard to Stan. Stan, ever the conman, jumps into action. When he finally finds Ford, though, it's bad. Ford is so far gone that instead of fixing things, they get into a huge fight. The brawl activates the portal, and Ford gets sucked in, leaving Stan behind. In the chaos, Ford throws one of his journals to Stan, but without the other two, Stan has no idea how to save his brother. And just like that, Ford vanishes into the unknown.
Gonna have to try harder than that! You left me behind, you jerk! It was supposed to be us forever! You ruined my life!
You ruined your own life!
Ah!
Stanley! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry! Are you all right?
Ow! Some brother you turned out to be. You care more about your dumb mysteries than your family? Well, then you can have them! Whoa, whoa, hey, what's going on? Hey, Stanford!
Stanley, help me!
Oh no, what do I do?
Stanley, do something! Stanley!
Stan? Well, he turns the old research center into the Mystery Shack, basically his way of holding on to weirdness that Ford was obsessed with for all those years. So, flash forward to the start of Gravity Falls, and Ford's name is everywhere, but no one knows who this author is. It's like a big mystery box. Then, bam. In The Time Traveler Pig, we get a quick Ford cameo when Dipper and Mabel mess up the space-time continuum. Little clues start popping up. A laptop with property of F, and hints that Old Man McGucket was once Ford's assistant. But Ford's actual return doesn't come until season 2. When Ford finally shows up, it's anything but a warm family reunion. He's pissed at Stan for messing with the portal and demands Stan move out, but as always, Ford softens up a bit after bonding over a game of dungeons. Dungeons and more dungeons. He opens up to Dipper about the rift, hinting that it's still a ticking time bomb. Then, in the last Mabelcorn, Ford gets a nightmare from Bill Cipher, who warns him the rift's going to blow up soon. Q-Cord going into full panic mode, he sends Mabel off to get unicorn hair to protect the shack while he and Dipper work on Ford's MM machine. But Dipper, being the curious teen he is, hacks Ford's memories and learns the huge secret. Ford and Bill were once pals. Uh-oh, things are getting messy. Now we're in full-on action mode. Dipper, in the heat of the moment, accidentally shoots Ford. Classic teen misjudgment. Ford calms him down, explains everything, and after Mabel returns with the unicorn hair, they set up a shield around the mystery shack. For now, they're safe, but this is just the start of the madness. Fast forward to Dipper and Mabel versus the future, and Ford's big worry? The rift's container is cracking. If it breaks, weird Megadon happens, and that's bad news. He tries to recruit Dipper as his apprentice, a little bragging about his 12 PhDs, you know, typical Ford, but things go south when UFO defense droids capture him. Luckily, Dipper saves the day, but things are far from fine. Mabel, feeling left out, ends up with the rift and is tricked by Bill, triggering weird Megadon. Bill rips open portals and chaos ensues. Ford and Dipper try to stop Bill, but Bill gets the upper hand and turns Ford into a golden back scratcher. Yep, that's right. Ford's stuck in back scratcher form and Bill's got him chained up, trying to get Ford to spill the formula to collapse the barrier protecting Gravity Falls. But Ford's not having it. He refuses to give in to Bill's demands, knowing Bill just can't invade his mind unless Ford makes a deal. As Ford holds strong, Dipper, Mabel, Stan, and the gang get to work on a rescue plan. They finally break in, but Bill uses his connection with Dipper and Mabel to turn the tables on Ford. But Ford's not done yet. He pulls off a huge twist. He and Stan switch places, fooling Bill into walking right into their trap. Boom! Bill's trapped in the mindscape and Ford's family is safe. Okay, this is where it gets real intense for Ford. After trapping Bill Cipher in a corner, Ford's got one last task: erase his brother Stan's memories to fully defeat Bill. Ford uses his memory gun, and with one final punch from Stan, Bill's form starts melting away, changing into all sorts of bizarre shapes, before disappearing into the nightmare realm. But here's the kicker: Ford had to erase Stan's memories for this to happen. The brothers' relationship has always been rocky, but Ford finally forgives Stan for everything and they share an emotional hug. It's a big moment. However, when Stan's memory is wiped, Mabel's heartbroken. She refuses to accept it and starts recounting their memories together, and slowly, Stan begins to remember bits of his old life, especially when he thinks of Waddles and Seuss. It's a heartwarming scene as the family sits and laughs, remembering the good times after all the chaos. 3 days later, on Dipper and Mabel's 13th birthday, Stan's memory is fully restored. With his brother back, Ford suggests they team up again to explore anomalies in the Arctic. It's the dream they had as kids, the Stano War finally coming true.
I need to talk to you. I didn't want to say anything with everyone listening, but we've got a problem. Weird Mageddon has been contained, but I'm detecting some strange new anomalies near the Arctic Ocean. I want to go investigate it, but I think I might be too old to go it alone. I don't just want someone to come with me, Stanley. I want it to be you. Will you give me a second chance?
You think we'll find treasure? And babes?
Ford's journey is one wild ride, filled with twists, turns, and a lot of family drama. Through it all, though, he learns that family is the real key to everything. What moment in Ford's story stood out to you the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.